Hi guys, Krista. Sorry I had to write down what I had to say because I'm not very good at, speaking. I suck at explaining what I'm going to say, but I wrote it down. So, after reviewing the Mayo Clinic article on potty training, one of my biggest takeaways was how important it is to follow the child's readiness rather than rushing the process. The article explains that potty training isn't about age, it's about signs of readiness, like staying dry longer, showing interest in the toilet, or being able to communicate their needs. If they're ready, they'll be ready. That really stood out to me because it reminds us that every toddler develops at their own pace. Exactly. Every child is different. They're going to show you when they're ready. Some children might be ready earlier. Some children might not be ready till later down the road. You got to do it when they're ready, not when you're ready. When working with toddlers, I would use this information by observing for those readiness signs and making potty training a positive and supportive experience instead of something stressful. Like, don't be yelling at them, that's going to make them not want to do it. You got to make it a fun experience, like maybe throw some Cheerios in the toilet, they can aim, something more for girls. I don't really know about girls because I had boys, so that's why I say that. In terms of, partnering with parents, I think communication is key. I would have conversations with families about what signs they're seeing at home and what strategies they're using. Consistency between home and school is super important during potty training. I have to say this because some parents, they won't be potty training them at home, but when we do it in the class, we're doing it. But then when they go back home, they're going back to wearing diapers. You can't do it. You gotta keep consistent on the potty training. Otherwise, it's never gonna get done. If we're using the same language routines and expectations, it helps a child feel more secure. To truly become a partner with parents, I would make sure we have a shared plan that could include deciding together when to start, how often to try, and how we'll respond to accidents. I would also reassure parents that accidents are normal and part of the process. Every time they have an accident, you can't yell at them. It's part of learning to go to the bathroom. They're going to have accidents here and there. They'll even wet the bed. My son did that.